Alright class, today we're going to be going over and learning place values and how to round numbers up or down and the rules of rounding. Okay? So the first thing I want you guys to write, since you all have your materials that were picked up at the beginning of class, we're going to write on our whiteboards our place values, okay? So if you see here, we have our ones, our tens, and our hundreds. Okay, so the first digit in a number is in the ones place value, right? The second is in the tens, and the third is in the hundreds. Okay, so let's make sure we remember that. So you guys can actually keep those on your boards, okay? So let's try and do the number 9, okay? So, like we said, first digit comes here, second digit goes here, the third digit. How many digits are in the number 9? Exactly, there's 1. So we'll put it in our first slot. So if we take the number 9, what place value is the number 9 in? Look right below. It's in the ones, right? There we go. Okay, we're going to use 19, right? So what number goes in the first one? Exactly, 9. Okay, next digit, the second digit goes here, right? Okay, that's right, the 1. Okay, so in this case, there's 2 digits now that take up 2 place values, right? So each one takes 1. So our 1 is in which place value? Tens, there we go. And our second one is in the ones, right? So our 1 is in tens value, and our 9 is in the ones place value. Okay. Right, we got 219 now. Okay. So, awesome. So we're taking this one, right? 219. We're gonna take it start it just like we did the last ones. Okay. We can write our 9 in the ones value, right? We can write the 1 and the 2. There's 3 spots we can fill as 219, right? Now we can see there's a third digit, which means the hundreds place value is being occupied, right? So we know our 2 is in the hundreds value, our 1 is in the tens place value, and our 9 is in the ones value, right? All right. Okay, class, so we have a couple examples up here on the board. We have 4 different problems, right? Or numbers, I'll say. And we're gonna figure out which place value is being held by what number, okay? So the first one we have 19, right? So if we're looking at 19, what number is in the tens value, place value? Is that right? It's 1. Good job. Okay, then what's the 9? Exactly. So our 1's in the tens, and our 9 is in the ones. Okay, let's move down. Let's go down actually to our 9, right? So how many digits are in this? There's only 1, right? So what place value is that? It's the ones. Good job. Cool. Now, we have 20, right? We're gonna use the same strategy as the 19, right? Okay. So we have 2 and a 0. So what's our 0 in? There we go, it's the ones. And now, what about the 2? Yep, it's in the tens. So got ones, tens. Okay, and now let's take that down to do the 16. So what place value is this with our 6? It's the ones, and the 1 is in the tens value. Good job. Awesome. All right. So now we're looking at rounding numbers. Okay, and we can round numbers up or down, all right? So why do we round numbers, right? So we round numbers to make them, simpler and keep them similar to their original number, right? This can be whether if you're buying something for $1.97, or you can round things to whole numbers so it makes them easier to work with and to deal with, right? Okay. Our rounding rules. Okay, so rounding up, right? So when you have to round a number up, you're gonna look at the last digit of the number, okay? So if we have, we're actually going to be here. So whatever your number is, if it ends in a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you will round it up, okay? So let's get an example of rounding up, okay? If you have the number 16, if you wanted to round it, let's look at, keep in mind our place values, to the nearest 10, right? If you want to round to the nearest 10, we have to see which one is closest to, right? So if we look here in our rules, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, there's a 6 here, right? So we're going to round it up to the nearest 10, which would then be 20. There we go. Okay? So we'll have another one. We have, let's go a big one. 68. Okay, we have 68 as our number. So how do we round it to the nearest 10? Well, let's look at this. We'll look at our ones value, our last digit. If it's one of these, we're gonna round it up. If it's not, we'll round it down. Okay, so 68, right? Okay, so the nearest 10 will be 70. Right? So now, if your last digit in your number ends with a 1, 2, 3, or 4, then we're going to round it down, okay? And so since we're going to be talking about the rounding tens, all right, so rounding tens is, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. So let's take the number 11, okay? So, right, let's look at the last number in it. We have to look at this one's value, as we talked about earlier. So, is this 1 in one of these numbers? Is it one of these numbers? Yes, it is. So, we would round it down. 94, right? So, do the same thing. We'll look at the end right here. And is it one of your numbers in here? It is, so what do? Where do we round, up or down? We round down. Okay, so we'll take 90. Alright. Alright, you'll be given a number. Alright, and now let's say we're given 34. Okay? So if we're given 34, what 10 is below 34? It's 30, right? 34 is in between 30, and what's the next 10 up? It's a 40. All right. So we have our 30 and our 40. Okay. So what number is right in the middle of 30 and 40? It's 5 from 30, and it's 5 from 40. Okay, there we go. It's 35. Okay. So we have 30, 35, and 40. Now, we're going to find out where 34 goes. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make little notches. Because we have 30, 31, 32, okay? And now we'll make it to 4 more notches. Here. So we have 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Okay? Now we're going to figure out where 34 goes. Okay, now we count through together. We have 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, there it is. So what you can do, right? You can take your guys' whichever car or picture you have and put them on the 30 and the 40, right? And then you're gonna put the favorite tool you have, and you're gonna stick it right on that 34, okay? Now we're gonna count. Is your car closer to 30 or 40, right? This is another way you can kind of use as a strategy to think through it. So let's count. Let's see how far it is from 40. We have 35, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 6 notches from 40. Right, now let's see how close it is to 30. 34. I'll rewrite that for you. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's only 4 from 30, right? And it's 6 from 40. So where do we round? Right? So we can take that last digit and we can see which one it's closer to. Well, there it is. It's closer to our 30. So we would 34 can be rounded down to 30. Okay? Also, we're going to do one more. Let's write this out. Make your number line all the way across. Okay, put 1 notch, 2 notch. And now you can place your objects at the end of these number lines, okay? Place them right at the end, and we're going to make a mark right in the middle. Alright? So now we're going to use the number 16. Actually, let's make this one fun. 15. Okay? So, we have your number 15. What tens are above and below 15? Alright, so 10, right? There we go. And what's the next 10? 20. Good job. Okay, so what's right in the middle? What's right in the middle of 10 and 20? There we go, 15. Oh, that looks ugly, but I will write it again. 15. Okay, so let's do the same thing we did in the last problem. We will take 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? Because then we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so now, as you can see, this 15 is already on the board. Okay, so you can place your favorite little toy right here under him. Okay, and now we're going to figure out which way we should round. Okay? Can anyone help me out? Alright, so we're going to place them right here. Now let's count. Let's see which one's 15 is closer to. Right? If we don't even have the rule, let's just see where it's closest to. We have 15, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it's 5 from 20. Okay? So it's 5 from 20. Let's see how close it is to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uh-oh. Smack dab in the middle. So what do we do? If we refer back to our rules, if your number ends in 5, it will be right in the middle. So what do? We're going to round it up or round it down? There we go. We'll round it up to 20. So 15 rounded to the nearest 10 is 20. Okay? Does that make sense for everybody? Alright, so now we'll have our activity up here on the board with 6 problems, 6 numbers you'll be given, and we're going to see if you guys can discuss with each other and figure out which one's going to be rounded up or rounded down. Okay, so now we're going to give this a little bit of practice, and we're going to group up with partners that are around you, and we will I will hand out the sheet that you guys will be working on. You guys will need to, 1, figure out which way you think it should be rounded. So you're going to have a set of numbers, figure out if they're rounded up or down. Then you are going to get with your group and share your answers with each other, and then discuss why you believe it's a certain, you rounded up or down. Okay, and whether a partner's right or wrong, just have each other explain why you chose that.